it is like actually when you look at the body graph, you can see which like conditioning the person will have. And also here's another dogma that is in human design teaching. Sometimes it's actually not about Ra. It's more about people didn't understand him sometimes, and he was sometimes like joking, and they took it like for granted, you know. So it's like that. For example, if there is like, if you have like empty centers and this energy just like not yours or something, you don't have this energy, and you have like defined center and you have this energy and it is fine. Like for example, the person has defined ego center, you know, and ego center is about desires. And my experience, my like how to say, what I met in my life, you know, says to me that even if person has the center defined, they also have the conditioning around it. So it is, everywhere is conditioning. So it is not like here is fine and here's where we should work on, you know. So for example, with this defined ego centered person, they like, I guarantee if they didn't work with the therapist or didn't work with some spiritual practices or something like that, didn't work with the conditioning, they will guaranteed be with not connected with their desires, you know. So it will be like that, not connected somehow. So for example, they meeting their desires unconditionally. So for example, sometimes they want something and they get it, sometimes they want something else and they don't get it, you know. There is like no consistency in the manifesting, you know. So it's like that. Yes, it is definitely like this. And actually when we're working with like with person, we should not only focus on the deconditioning, like the parts that are empty, you know, so where they don't have the constant energy and something like that, but also it is like very for example, to actually I will be talking about it later, so let's get back to my favorite part. So conditioning, how does it, for example, like we have this body graph, we have this like abilities, talents and everything like that, and we are how to say, then we are like getting into the mother's body, you know, in her womb, and kind of living there for a while she's also living, and some things are happening to her, you know. She got scared, she got everything, she like thinks something, she's doing something, so it's like that. And then like already in the womb we get some conditioning, because the child is getting the energy from its mother, so it's like that. It is, you know, like if you work with that, it is happening like that. So when we are born, another like round of conditioning is happening. So for example, you are crying, we don't know what to do with that, like we will leave you or something, like everything like that. A lot of how to say, subconscious, you know, for example, when you are a child and you cannot talk, like, you know, you don't understand anything, your conscious is not like not ready yet. It is growing, it is like building up, you know, and something is happening, and like you don't know how to deal with that, you know, because you're like small child, you know, like a baby. And there is also could be conditioning, you know, so there is also could be, for example, something happened, you are crying, and your mother doesn't know like what to do, and she is like feeding you or doing something else instead of, for example, like holding you, you know. So it is also will be kind of unconscious conditioning, so she's not like telling you something, but she's like doing something, and you kind of taking it all from her. So then we grow, and then there will be like we start to do some things, we start to like making steps, growing teeth and everything, like everything is happening. And then there is like a new stage of conditioning, you know, like school or something, like I don't know what else, like some university or something, then some work or something. So all the stages, we have the like all these stages of conditioning. So when we start with this thing, you know, like, do you see the picture? My favorite picture. We start with this thing. This is like our authentic self, you know. So this is like we are 100%. And then this is conditioning, you know, like from parents, then from school, then from like something else. Like it is growing, you know. So at some point, all your like, you know, inner light, you cannot see that because it is all conditioned. So when we look at the conditioning like that, so like some kind of maybe like onion or something, you know, like all the layers, and there is some seed inside. That is our authentic self. So when we like get into the point where we are like grown up, kinda, you know, and making decisions for our own, we kinda in this state, you know, like we already closed in this conditioning, so we kinda already not ourselves, you know. So it is not I don't mean it in human design way, so not self, like it's not like this. It is actually about like we are I will try to explain it in the different way. For example, actually we are like all the universe, all the nature, everything that is in the nature is like growing and expanding constantly, you know. So like if you look at this at some plant or something, or you look at some like animal or something, they are constantly growing, you know. So if you like for example like tree like growing like this, and if you like put something to in the way, it will grow like this. So everything in this world is kind of expanding, it is growing. And we also do that, because we are in this nature, in this like universe. So when is conditioning happening, so for example we're supposed to grow like this, you know. So this is like our relationships, this is our like desires, something like that, and like all the things we're supposed to grow like this. But at some point we get the conditioning, or we get the trauma, or something else, or blockage on new mindset or something that we take, you know, like we take as our own, and it will grow like this, you know. So we are like, I don't know, 30 years old, but this part still in our like we in these situations, for example, we still act like a child, you know. So we sometimes we're running from something, sometimes we fighting something, screaming something. It happens like that. So I call it trauma. I call when something happens in our childhood or somewhere else. I call it trauma because it is like kind of stepping in the way of like development of this part. So we have like some of our parts are developed fully and some of our parts are not. So it's like that. So this is conditioning actually. So you know, like here is the branch has gone through wall, you know, and here is not. So it's like that. At some point when for example, like when we say we have to we want to like be, I don't know, a star, like TV star or something, and we can't, you know, like I don't know, acting class is too expensive, like I don't know, nobody wants us, somebody tells us we're not like suitable for TV, you know, like something else. It's like a lot of stuff like standing in our way, you know. This is actually something that is mirroring our conditioning, you know. So for example, how does conditioning or like trauma looks like? For example, like for example, at some childhood, we come to our parents and like we painted something and we like, oh, Mom, I painted this, look at that. And she's like, what is that? It is not like beautiful or like cool, like stop it. And that is like simple example. It doesn't even have to happen like this. Actually, it could be like different kinds of stuff. And at that moment, we kind of taking it on and like feeling, okay, like painting is not for me. It is bad. My mother is like feeling not good. And,